I don't know. Maybe I'll talk closer to the mic.
No, especially Christian. He's like, "Hi, I'm Christian. This is my voice."
I thought that was his voice.
No, it's a lot deeper than that.
You represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild.
All right, let's
He's
see.
represent.
I ran out of helium a while ago. It shouldn't sound like that.
No,
All
you
right,
seriously
all right.
sound
Let's
like,
start.
sound like you got a helium.
Hold on. I gotta make sure this is working because it looks like it switched my account. Don't
Nope.
switch my
It's
account.
showing it streaming now.
Okay, all
Hey,
right.
is
No
that
more,
Sam
no
Cal?
more roasting.
Okay.
We should figure out a talking order too,
Oh yeah, yep. It's
or just stay muted until.
okay. It is
There-
good. Okay, we are live. So
There is
that
a
means,
feature.
that means I gotta stop swearing, and we all have to like put on our we're live faces. But this is a very special occasion because we have the whole admin team basically
Hey,
from the Upper Midwest Aurora Chasers, and we're
well,
going to discuss things. So,
we're missing
Yes.
we're missing Jess,
but this
no,
is a pretty good group right here. Like, I don't think we've ever had 6 on before. So this
I
is
was hanging smoke detectors. That's why I'm a little sweaty.
hey, that's all right. No
Couldn't
judgment.
tell. We know now, but we couldn't tell before. So
Yeah, my mom wanted me to hang two freaking smoke detectors. What they're hardwired. I had to unscrew the old plates, plug the adapters into the old freaking wiring, and screw it back in. It's like 95 degrees up by the ceiling.
Oh, I'm sure. So let's see. I'm just gonna hand it over to Christian over there, since he probably has all of the things up.
I should have things going now.
Where do we
There is
point?
one
Oh yeah, that's right.
crucial.
Hold on, I gotta give everybody sharing.
There you go.
There we go. So we're going to discuss this X flare and subsequent CME because I'm sure the media has already latched onto this and been talking about it. So 1, 2, 3,
All
go.
right, I got stuff coming up. Everything looks loaded to me. So first off, watching it will be the main priority, which 171 is kind of, I think, the coolest. That might just be my opinion, but
Yeah, I thought 171 looked pretty good.
well, 304 shows nothing. Boom, look at that. There it goes.
And it's like in your face, like right in the
It
middle.
is very much in your face. So clearly a blast wave, clearly a CME. Interesting because it looks like there's quite a bit of a southern extent. And then checking out AIA 94, which no one uses this anymore. I'm bringing this back.
Yeah,
It
bring
is
it
quite a
back.
bit noisier, but it's very good for seeing what's going on in Corona and high energy stuff. But you can see the blast. Actually, here, let's go into the running difference too. That's even better. I have so many layers up that it's harder to
Oh.
find. There
So,
we go. Boom.
boom.
So cool. But the point is, definitely what looks to be an even blast wave. What came out, however, didn't quite seem to be that way.
Yeah,
And then we had that super annoying West
what
Limb
how that West Limb
M
event.
flare. At least I believe it was an M flare.
That kind of made the exposure go down on the instrument. So then we were missing that partial halo.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Now
of
it was faint to begin with.
yeah.
So if anyone, I hope at least can see the screen. So we had West Limb CME, boom. And as of here, got here to about here, I would say. So pretty much the entire northern half of Glasgow right now. I'm sure there was more of a western component too, but it's not like we can actually see that. Now though, I haven't actually looked at it since we've got more Glasgow imagery.
Yeah, that's right, because we kind of talked about it as that stuff was coming in.
Oof, that still looks pretty rough. I can't see a southern edge to this.
Yeah, it looks mostly north.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Stereo A had a better view on this from the
Mhm.
side, and it looks like it just barely crosses the sun-Earth line. I would be surprised if this was anything more than like a graze from the southern edge. Now, well, I guess that's assuming that it comes as it is. We do have that super big kernel hole. Oops. Zoom fit.
Oh, it looks so tiny there. But
Yeah, if
yeah,
you want a tiny sun. But yeah, this is a pretty big coronal hole too. But it's fairly conveniently located, and it is literally directly north of the blast site. So it might not have much of an influence because that looks pretty angled. So I guess there's a decent chance that there could be some interactions and it could push it down a bit. I would doubt it has too much to play, but what did Tamitha say that she thought would happen with it?
yeah, on her stream earlier, she was thinking it might deflect it down a little, but like we were saying, it's pretty far north. It's kind of hard to say. So it's one of those things, as Tanya likes to say, we'll see what happens when things hit L1.
Boom! I just really like playing this back and forth. I don't know why I loaded so much imagery if we really only needed this part, but the other part I wanted to talk about, yes, it's very interesting looking at the actual eruption itself, but my favorite part of it is the sunspot itself.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
a
a
pretty awesome sunspot group. Normally, at least in my experiences, the ones that have a north-south alignment, so looking at instead of sunspots being aligned east to west, you have a leading polarity, you've got a trailing polarity. Leading polarity in the northern hemisphere right now is positive, which in this case is white, and the negative is black. So normally you would expect to see a leading group, which is kind of, well, once this clears up a little bit more, there we go. I would more so call this the leading group, although it's possible there's a couple groups meshed into one here. I also want to say that this little black region here in the center is an artifact that is not actually a negative spot directly in the middle of the positive spot. As you adjust it more, you can kind of see that it's not really there. It's usually a result of very, very strong Umbra spots, I find. Point is, though, this is very stacked north to south. And the leading polarity in this case wants to move equatorward, and just vice versa, the trailing region wants to go north. In this case, they're colliding. So this is a very big flare player, and we could see, I would say, some very easy X5 plus, if not more. It looks like, and a lot of times what will happen is this region will just kind of rotate, and you'll see the negative side rotate around it. And then it'll likely, all of this will end up merging together over the next 2 to 4 days. And then it'll be nothing from there. But the flare itself took place in this region,
yeah.
all of this mixed area. So if we can get some flux growth into there, then I think we can see quite a bit more when it comes to the flaring regions. But this whole thing, this is a delta region. This is a negative umbra. Or positive umbra. This is a negative umbra. And they are close. I've got a grid and I can't even get it close enough to see how close they actually are. To be fair, J-Helio viewer only goes to 5 degrees, which is silly. I think it should go to 1 degree, but But they're well within half a degree, maybe one at most, something like that. And it's a big region. It's currently dominating the front disk. So if anyone has solar glasses still for the eclipse, go out when it's sunny and you can see the spot.
Yeah, it's a big one.
It's a big one, quite a big one. That is all I have for this. Who wants to go next?
Okay. Yeah, should we go over we want to go over the current I guess. What can I think today?
Models,
Yeah,
maybe?
the current
Forecast?
models. That's what I meant.
Oh, I guess. Tanya, you're on a phone. You probably don't have stuff
Hold
up,
on,
do
but
you?
I can bring it up on Swipsy.
You got it? Okay, cool. I am going to mute myself, though.
Okay. But you guys can talk if you want while I'm finding this.
Yeah, I think that coronal hole is way too far north. It's
Okay.
even in Gong, I shared an image yesterday with the open field lines, and not much was going straight out. It was all shooting up at an angle like this.
I think that was
So,
this morning.
yeah, is that what it was? I don't remember.
I think I just saw it today. I'm like that sounds way too late to be. But no, I fully agree with you. It looks like it was pretty angled to the point where yes, the CME is likely going to interact with it, but it's not going to be within Earth terrain, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. Yeah,
I
so
think I thought Tanya had a list of coronal holes and where their geo-effectiveness was, and it was a certain degree north and south. Anything
yeah.
north of that was very low.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
with
and that office actually is not putting a lot of hope for Sir HSS coming from that corona hole. It's just way too far north. And previously didn't give us a whole lot of exciting things. So because it's not really coming close enough to affect Earth, it's really hard to see how it's going to push CME significantly to be more Earth directed than it was originally. It's pretty far up there.
Yes, I think it's we'll see. We shall see.
I
All
mean,
right.
of
want
course, the
to say-
rule is
I want-
always wait till L1.
I want to say that we had this last rotation, and I don't even think it had any geo-effective effects. On Earth.
Mm, I don't think I saw any signs of a coronal hole in data at least
don't
last
either.
couple weeks ago.
I don't remember seeing
Nope,
one.
and that's exactly
20
what the office is saying too.
Yeah. So we shall see. All right. All right. I have let me do I'm gonna share my all right, so can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
And Lil.
Yeah, the Enlil model. So this is the NOAA, so the NOAA version. And I just kind of fast forwarded to where they think it's going to hit, and it's basically on the 18th. So it's a crawler. It's not moving very fast, which is
Can
Our
you
wind
back,
speed, rival
hey,
speeds
can you
430.
back that up to current time?
what is the current time?
8:15, actually 8:16. We're basically midnight 8:16
August
right now,
15th.
UT.
Hold on.
So do you see the middle images? It shows the side view of the coronal hole. It looks like it's shooting north.
Oh
Over-
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they do have it modeled in there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not really much interaction at all, at
Okay.
least for Earth. Now,
All
again,
right.
that's models, of course, but
Yeah.
So
we know how that works.
yeah.
How reliable that is.
So yeah, that if this does arrive on the 18th, that's like 4 days of transit. So the predictions are that it's not going to do much. Like
Well, when was the flare?
it was
8:14.
6:45 UTC,
Yeah,
On what day?
8:14.
8:14.
So we got 1, 2, 3,
So about
4.5 days when this is supposed to reach us.
yeah.
that's like the maximum amount of time I think a CME
That's-
can
that's
take before
like-
it just becomes a transient, really.
That's like it's just gonna dwindle away with the solar winds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's why the forecasts aren't super optimistic about it, because it is a slow one. But if I switch to this is the Huxt ensemble, so they have it about the same. It looks like the 18th.
It's
like
a pretty
what
thin distribution too.
What I always tell Tanya is look at the current solar wind speeds they have compared to what the real world solar winds are. They always have it way higher. So it says 425-ish maybe on that model, that last one. And what do we have? 350 currently?
Yeah, you're right. The current
Mhm.
So that will probably slow that model down like it has before. But what do
Should
they have?
add some. Yeah.
Impact
Let's see.
speed 400 kilometers.
470, yeah.
But
We
on that,
are-
they got over 500. Isn't that
Oof.
even launch speed was not even 500 or so?
No, yeah, it was like 495, I think, is what they had.
So
Can we,
Yeah.
Mary Beth, can we scroll down slightly?
Yeah.
In that. Let's see. Hux had launch speed at 610.
That's
Okay, so-
not the launch speed, that's speed at 21.5.
what?
21 solar
Yeah.
radii, right?
Mhm.
I mean, we're at two quibbles. That's such a small distance.
Fair enough.
What about the launch speed then? Is that in there?
No, it'll be a little bit
No.
faster than that, but
yeah, that's probably
I mean, really, I wouldn't say it's relevant. But
yeah,
Because I
think-
mean, if we get one that launches at 1,000, it reaches Earth at like 500. It loses
Yeah.
like 50%.
well, of
So
course,
what-
then it also depends on what's ahead of it. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing going on, so it's gonna slow down significantly on the way here.
And especially we have slow ambient speed. There's no coronal holes, and I think this thing
No
is
prior
just gonna,
CMEs.
I think this is going to revive as a little blip, and then whatever happens with the IMF, if it decides to go south, BZ or whatever.
For fun, do we want to put some bets down on what kind of K levels we see?
I'm gonna say
I'm
G1 maybe.
I'm going to say G1 as well, just because.
K4. I'm guessing not higher than a 4.
Really?
I'm a 3.
Wow.
She's
3?
going. She's
That's
going
really
really
pushing it.
low.
We had KP4 last night, and it was not even, the CME was pretty much gone. We just had like
K5.
What do I get if I'm right?
Just the satisfaction that you're right.
Yeah.
Ah, dang.
'Cause
And
I
let's
don't
stress it since we're all here. This is not Aurora related,
have-
but you know,
I'm
it's fun
not
to bet on
betting. I'm
KP.
just gonna, I'll have to look at the numbers and post something, so I'm not betting on this thing.
I know.
It's true.
I think the point is for an X flare, this is kind of like,
Unimpressive.
You know
Yeah.
what's weird is it's like now that we get X flares, nothing's really cool until it's like an X15. You know,
Right.
it's like
and
Probably.
it seems like the M flares have been giving us more stuff, like
so
more.
you get so Christian said that West Limb looked like an M class flare.
Yeah.
That was either it was a very narrow and very dense, but that
It was a big one.
It made that small halo look like a dwarf compared to that.
Oh yeah,
big-
it did. I mean, that
Well,
was
it was oculated, if I'm not mistaken as well. I didn't actually look at the details of that limb flare, but
It was, yeah. I mean, I was talking to Tanya that like when that seeds image came out, like, damn, that M4 CME had so much better like density and all compared to this just poof of X1.
which that also tells you magnitude is not everything.
no.
Nope.
Yep.
Yep.
But that's why they always say that, well, it is true, but like flares and CMEs, these are all independent things.
The other
Uh,
thing is that was a full halo, which will spread out evenly to make it look thinner, but with its slow speed, it's really going to make the difference between how we see it when it reaches L1.
So could you see the full halo? Because I still am calling it a partial just because I couldn't see the
Okay,
southern
so
edge. But
physically, I did not see a full halo. It's a partial halo then.
I know stereo A, you can see the whole thing, and it does again look like there's a southern edge, but it looks like the southern edge just skirts across the sun earth line,
yeah.
Yeah.
which we
The
wouldn't see.
speed that was entered for the Donkey catalog at M2M is anywhere from 514 to 700.
Okay.
They got the range.
So
It's
they
still
don't-
slow.
Yeah, it's still slow. It's still slow. But that being said, I think the NASA model actually had this one coming quicker, like on the 17th, which is interesting. Of course, I can't find that right now, but
I got it.
okay.
It's on, 17 at 5:10 UTC.
Tonight.
So yeah, so
Yeah, exactly, midnight.
so if
Yeah.
if it comes sooner, then it's gonna pack more of a punch. But I think this is gonna come, like we're all saying, it's slow. It's probably gonna come later.
Well, let's
Um,
see. Do we have any EPOM increase yet?
The only other thing though that helps.
Whoa, what's going on with the flux? Low energy flux.
Yeah, it's been up.
Or
Yeah, it
a
has
center
been.
disc flare in CME is gonna actually arrive faster than it should if it was like further west or east, but it's still gonna have a difficult time getting here with any decent speed with the background solar winds as low as it is too.
Yeah, gotta gotta fight
Because
that.
we've seen other center discs or around there. It was surprisingly arrived faster for some reason. I don't know if it's because it's like instead of
On the side, yeah. Yeah, you're right. There's been a few that arrived like almost a day early. That kind of surprised. It's like, wait, what? So I'm just
Well,
trying to.
something is definitely coming.
Oh, they're registered. Okay, so yeah, EPOM looks super weird right now, but it looks like they shot up after the limb flare, and
But I
they're
mean-
kind of having effects from that right now too.
Here,
could it be to the west limb flare too? Parker
Yeah.
spiral.
Yeah,
so here's the EPAM.
I don't normally see the variations like that. That's different. So there's a couple different interactions going on there. Normally it's either constantly rising or constantly decreasing. I don't usually see it big spikes up and down.
Yeah, it's interesting. But I mean, like the thing with the EPAM, like it can pick up whatever. So you can see stuff from it outer space coming in here
From
to
behind Earth, even.
yeah. So it's you have to make sure that you're realizing that too. But so that's why we typically look for the rises and like the gradual rise and then the drop off, and that's usually the indicator of the CME.
Well,
But
hopefully we get some use out of this one.
yeah,
So what,
I find
what
it
happened
easier
on
to
the
look at
15th?
this in the 3-day.
That was the limb flare, the whatever that I don't have it up
Oh,
anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
what
The
is it?
west limb flare, it
M4,
then
yeah.
shot up,
So yeah, we
which
got
it
something.
was in perfect location to affect them.
Hey,
So it makes
have
sense.
you been able to look at the east side region that produced that flare?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we were
good
going to talk
question.
about that. Do you still have all those the solar stuff up? Here, I'll
Sure
stop.
do.
Because that one's an interesting region that's going to be coming into view.
And then
Let
fall
me
asleep until West Limb.
let's see. I didn't load that far into the present for the continuum at least, so let me get just a minute to load that up.
Yeah, because that one looks like it might be interesting. And it already gave us some interesting stuff on the East Limb, so from what I remember.
Your hair is doing some weird things with your background.
I can make
It
it
like
go
disappears
weird.
into it.
Like
It's like going.
that's how I feel about this whole event.
Okay, there we go. Oh, but it's got to load still.
That's fine. That's fine.
Too impatient to wait.
I don't consider it's like, hurry, we got things to do.
I mean, to be fair, I also have it loading from the 14th early UTC to now. So it's like 30, almost 48 hours.
That's all.
Probably my bad.
Well, if you want to do that, we can talk about well, let me bring it up. The weather for the weekend.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Do that first.
I like the
Who laughed?
where is my
Don't come up here.
don't go to Minnesota. That's what I
The
heard.
whole state of Minnesota is going to be under a low pressure system for like
Yep.
better.
It's been raining here too.
Yep.
So. All right, we'll go back to sharing. I'll bring the first I'll bring up my favorite summer map, my favorite summertime map. The smoke map.
Astroperic, yay!
Hey.
Oh, the smoke. Yes, it's
Where
that time of year.
are these fires coming from now?
What's that?
Canada? I said, where are these? sources?
Yeah. I guess Canada still some fires, but also Oregon has been fighting some fires and started
Are you
part of
kidding me?
So we have still quite a bit. It's not as bad as it was a couple weeks ago. But let's fast forward to let's do Saturday.
You can see the low pressure system right in the middle there.
Yeah, because
spinning.
it like sweeps all the smoke out.
Yeah. Or it like keeps it in the perimeter, and then
Yeah.
we're like the bullseye.
Yeah, so that's kind of neat. But yeah, Saturday, let's go Friday.
Does that map have surface pressure?
I think one of them does, but I'm not the smoke map. I don't think I can put it on top of it. It's just smoke.
Just
Yeah, just smoke. But yeah, you can see it's not quite as bad as it was a couple weeks ago. It looks like it'll be generally okay. Other than these areas in the purple and the red. Just from my experience going out west driving, the purple and the red, it's very hard to see anything. But if you're in the oranges and the yellows, it's actually not too terrible. So you can just keep that in mind. But this is Astrospheric. It's a cool app because it has the smoke maps integrated into it. You can also get it on pivotalweather.com. It's called vertically integrated smoke. So you can get it there as well. In terms of the clouds, we can go hop over to windy.
You
And
use College of the Page?
what's that?
You ever use College of the Page?
Oh yeah, I need to use that more. But I have used
that
it.
one I trust that more than any app, but I use Windy on my phone because it's that easy to
Yeah.
use.
It's
They default to the European model, and
yeah.
College of the Page has a lot of stuff that I find a lot of use for.
Yeah, I'll have to add that to it because Pivotal, I like Pivotal Weather, and then I'll add the College of DuPage too, because it's yeah, it's nice because they're web based. Because I find that this Windy app actually works way better on a phone than on the computer.
It looks so much better on a computer though.
No,
Look how big that is.
yeah. So let's fast forward to
Yeah,
Saturday.
see the clouds, all
Yeah.
those clouds. Hey, there's a hurricane or something out there.
Yeah, look at that.
But if you go to Saturday, at least on the European model, that's 2 a.m. though. Well,
That
let's
looks
start
pretty
slow.
good.
I mean, it's
Well, that's
actually
when everyone's out.
it's looking better than what it did. But you still have a little bit. I mean, yeah, a little bit of cloud, but it's not too bad. It actually looks pretty good across the whole upper Midwest over here in North Dakota and Montana. I was just there.
What I like about Windy too is you can change the layer height. So you go into the menu and switch to 850, so that's like 5,000 feet up. And then
Oh,
you go to like humidity mode, and then you'll find out where there's moisture. So wherever the menu is on, right there, the
This one?
hamburger there. Yeah.
yeah,
Now scroll all the way down.
Looks like Cook County will be clear.
yeah.
Can you keep scrolling, or is it not?
This is.
Rub it in.
I know.
Go back up.
I don't live in Cook County. I live in St. Louis County.
Where the heck is it?
I
They
gotta
don't
drive
have,
through to another county just to get up there.
on the phone though, you can switch layer height. So I don't know how you do it on
Yeah, me, this is I'll have to play with it on the phone and find it.
but on
it
the
is
phone,
kinda-
scroll down and there's a little slider bar for altitude.
It's
and
probably one of the boxes in the lower right corner of the maps, I'm guessing.
click wind once.
What was that?
Wind. Click wind.
Okay.
Now scroll down and see if you get layer height. No? What the heck?
Well, that's weird. Yeah, normally in the phone that they're there. I noticed that. It's probably hidden somewhere then.
Yeah, probably.
Unless it says more layers. I don't know. If
What's the plane?
They're
See the plane.
That's airports.
Oh, it literally puts airports? That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool because then you can get the METARs.
Yep, there's a METAR.
So you get
And
your airport code.
So you guys kind of like are the solar weather experts, but if you need any earth weather experts, I've been studying the weather since I was 7 years old. So, and I have my own weather page on Facebook, which I really update, but
I know how you feel.
I
Yeah.
know about all these models and what they mean, and if you want to know where it's going to be raining, there's a TAF.
Yeah.
Don't you have your own barometer too?
I got a couple of them.
So
So
look at
cool.
where. Yeah, it was I recently learned how to read METARs, which I thought was pretty cool. I'm like, ooh.
It's cool because you can actually get like surface conditions without using a forecast. You're getting actual live data.
Yeah, it is pretty
Way
helpful.
better.
So, it was one of the cool things I learned going through the drone class.
Yeah, they make you learn METAR and drone.
Yeah,
class.
because it's all one. It's the FAA has like one conglomerate thing for the Part 107, and it has all the stuff with aviation in it that you really don't need for drone stuff, but it's there. I didn't mind it though because I thought it was interesting. So,
Do you know how to read all the remarks?
let me see.
I mean, the purpose of that when you fly drone, it just tries to throw all the warnings on your face that be careful, we know it's you.
Yeah. Like if you're
Like even after the certification.
But anyway, I got sidetracked. But actually, the cloud cover forecast is looking pretty decent now on Saturday. If it comes early though, I think we'll have some problems.
Yeah, especially Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Ugh.
Yeah, this will be a problem if it comes early. So if it
We're
comes
probably
late,
gonna have enough problems with the moon.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll segue into that now. We have a big moon too. It'll be 90% on Saturday, so that's going to be fun and exciting, which is probably why I'm not going to bother driving anywhere for this, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
there's a
don't
lot
get
of factors suggesting
4.5
not to do
days.
much.
For 4.5 days for a CME to arrive. I don't think anyone should really drive.
Yeah, it's
You hear that, everyone?
yeah, unless you're in an area already, you're already there. Keep a look on
Exactly.
You just
But-
have to go north of your streetlights, then that's fine.
Aha.
us poor saps in the deep south. of Chicago and Ohio, yeah, we're
No
just
chance. We're
well,
screwed.
we'll just wait for the next one.
I'll take the screen back whenever you're good.
Yeah, do you have your
Will she
sunspot
be
back?
out
Yep.
there? Yeah, it will be out there. Your camera might pick up, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's if you want
Ready for disappointment? Here's our
Yeah.
sunspot.
Oh, that's it.
It's still a little too close to the lens to see much of the
Yeah.
magnetic details. There is, so that's going to be your negative umbra.
Okay.
There
guess-
is several little tiny negative umbra here, and then there is probably a positive umbra kind of here, but they look fragmented. They look like they're decaying. I highly doubt we're gonna, unless this is new growth. Of course, it's a little too early to tell. There's
Can you
nothing
play
there.
1600 animation?
Play what? Say again.
1600 animation?
Sure. I'll load it with the actual specific time so it doesn't take 1,000 years.
Because a lot of times you can see flux emerging in 1600 by the
That is
sparsing.
true.
That
And
would
you know
count.
what? Just to be a jerk, I'm gonna put it in 1700 coloring because I like it better.
All fine.
Well, hey, you're driving.
Definitely looks active. The south region. Oh, there it is. Woo. Okay, so really, we're not seeing the main active part yet, it looks like. Here, let's put the magnetogram on top of it.
So we have to wait again, I guess is what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. That is that really all that it has? Oh, no, I put in. Okay, never mind. JK, guys. We got
JK.
one more day. That was to the 15th early this morning, so it wasn't aligning. Let's try this again. There we go. Now we can get better visual in it.
Patiently waiting.
All right, let's get rid of that. That's a little bit better. Okay. It does look like there's more of a flaring region behind it too.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's hop on the continuum. So it is this little middle region here. So there's probably some magnetic mixing somewhere in there, but the limb effect is too strong still, so it's hard to tell. And it looks like, though, there's still something coming from behind that even. A little spot over here.
I guess we'll find out in a couple days. It's
Definitely a
Mhm.
nice little active region there.
yeah, something.
Yeah, see the little sparkles.
Yeah, 1600 is great.
I hear the cat.
Yeah.
Was that a cat?
Here being
Yeah.
Okay, who's identifying as a cat?
I'm them furry or whatever they call it now.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Oh
Furry.
boy. Yeah, we don't want to take that off track.
No, not quite yet, at least.
Yeah, not yet. No.
This one's still not crazy as 3784.
Oh, God, no.
This guy's like something else.
Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely.
Oh, you know what?
Play 1600 on that one.
That was literally my next goal.
Or
Oh yeah, that's pretty
1700
cool.
to make
see
you
what-
happy.
That
I'm
the one
going
you
to-
were watching so late the other night?
What's that?
Is that
What
the one you were watching so late the other night, Sankalp?
Yeah, it was for 15 minutes. It was just me, and I was like, "Wow, my 2 hours of my life are gone." And then,
Hey,
Oh.
That's the one you've been-
I was there. I was there.
yeah, that's what I said. And Brian joined in. Like, wow, okay, I'm not alone.
That's the one I woke up that morning and there were like 25 text messages between the two of you. Or
Yeah.
messages
Well,
between-
he was bored and I was on break at work. So
yeah.
Brian
And
literally asked me, "Am I drunk?" I was like, "I'm not drunk. I was just excited by this whole flare
he's,
thing." And then
he's tagging Christian at 3 a.m. Wake up! There's a red-
Wake up, wake
Which,
up.
by the way, didn't work.
he usually is up. Christian's usually up by a little early sometimes.
It's not
Oh, yeah, look at that.
by
Look at that
choice,
go.
though. 3 a.m. are usually my wake up times just because I wake up and then I can either choose to go back to sleep or wake up, and guess which one I do.
Hey, go back 1600 at the time of that flare.
Oh,
Or is
good
that
point.
7?
No, I need to go back further. So, but I do want to make the point at least through this video, you can see the activities clearly in the region to the west of the main big group.
Yeah, look at it just.
That positive umbra right there had that
Also looks like there might be flux growth. That's hard to tell. It looks like there's some decaying and some growing here. But this is staying stationary, so. Oh, how I was mentioning the negative umbra side of it on the bottom is going to start flowing up. You can see that flow.
Yeah.
Especially in this top area here. I got to stop pointing to the screen. You can't see my finger.
You gotta use your mouse.
We can use the
There we go.
mouse.
But yeah, that whole region here. So this whole area is going to start sliding over a bit.
It looks
Eventually.
so cool. It's like lava.
Let's move over to.
I think
Yeah,
that's
see,
what
1700 is so much better in the color.
It's so
that's
Dim it a little
gonna
bit.
happen for those 3 spots on the eastern limb right now. I think they're gonna try to move around.
And there's our sun.
Definitely-
Fun fact
definitely
for anyone
the
that doesn't.
biggest-
Oh, go ahead, Brian.
It's definitely the biggest region on the sun right now. I mean,
Oh, easily.
that one in the west has got some color to it, but
Let's see. When was that flare again?
6:45 UTC.
The
I like
14th,
how
right?
it's ingrained in
14th.
your mind. You're
Yeah.
like 6:45 UTC.
I was like literally like it happened, and I'm like all over all the sources, and all I could find was one. There was no SITS image. Of course, we gotta wait for LASCO, and then it's like somebody talk to me at midnight. Come on.
I was like, guys, I've got something. Somebody
So-
listen to me.
see, so I got that telegraph or whatever telegram goes to my watch, so I could sit at work and I'm like, oh, type 2, wait, type 4, 10
Oh.
centimeters.
It's like,
oh.
oh,
I'm like,
Oh,
like something happened.
yes,
Something.
it
Oh.
is, and
Nice.
and right away I open up Compass and I see the flare and I'm like, oh, there's nice little coronal dimming there.
At this point, I've even muted R2 alerts, so I don't see anything unless it's an R3 or higher,
I mean,
because
Why
we
not?
just get too many of them.
yeah.
But there was R3.
Well, that one, yes, yeah.
Yes, there was.
And I
R3.
still did get that alert. I was just, asleep. I know you can't see me glaring at you, but I'm glaring at you.
Sometimes we let you sleep. Sometimes.
Thank you. Don't make a habit of it, though.
Okay.
Then I miss literally everything.
Okay, I have your phone number. I'm gonna just keep calling. Don't block me.
Okay, I'm a millennial. I haven't had volume on my phone in years.
Yeah, I haven't either. It's been on vibrate forever.
Yeah, I'm on silent. Like, even as of right now, there are no notifications coming from this thing ever, unless I look at it. There's no way to get a hold of me. Ha 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 ha. I'm just making small talk while this stupid thing loads.
That's fine. I get it.
Actually, it's probably loaded enough now that we can watch the flare. So, zoom in, let's track it. All right, ready?
Yeah. Ready. Ready. Where is it?
Almost.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
So much funner. You can see all the reconnections going on. Little jumps.
Yeah,
This-
you can
Did
the
you say
location
butter?
of the actual activity instead of a big bright flash.
This would be a better place to look at footprints.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were
like,
struggling with that yesterday.
we were. We were trying to find.
131 was not helpful at all in this case.
That's where you
Well-
found that the near X-ray or whatever was. What's that wavelength again? I forget.
94,
94. Yeah, you found that would be more helpful.
which it's very underused at this point. On that note, if we see anything, what was the flux rope I figured out? North, east, south?
North, I think you wanted
With-
to northeast.
With like, oh, well, yeah, I have the text document here too still.
Yeah,
Not at all
like-
high
like
confidence
Nintendo.
whatsoever, but
Yeah, so that's our big prediction. We'll see.
North, so
I'm
If it
giving it
comes-
about a 10% chance of accuracy.
But if it is right, Christian over there is going to brag about it because
And if
we
it's
spent
not right,
how many hours did we spend on that trying to figure that out? Like 2?
2? It was not okay. So, like, since we're here and talking about it anyway, and I've already got the imagery loaded, normally you get the post-eruption arcades after the flare, right? And that's a very good way of looking at what the new polarity inversion line will look like after the CME. So we've got regular field there. Now we've got the eruption there. This is the most out of the post-eruption arcade you can get out of the new reconnection loops. And not only that, but then they change so fast that you can't even pick a direction. Normally,
Yeah.
they're nice and symmetrical and you get like a little bit of a layer of them and they're all neat, organized for at least a few minutes. No, none of that here. It's an absolute mess.
I just see the sigmoid right there, and I looked at the way it was curved, and I saw it turning.
I will
Twisted.
say, at least with some certainty, that this group, and you're right, the sigmoid did help. This does not follow the hemisphere rule. So this is not in a patch of negative helicity. It was positive.
Which kind of tracks with the sunspot region being
Just the
almost
weird,
North
yeah,
south. Yeah.
weird magnetic stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, here
That
we go.
tracks, as the kids.
Yeah, the only law it's really violating is the joy law, where you're supposed to have a slant in leading and trailing regions, but you don't. It's pretty much straight vertical.
And
So it's anti-joy.
you can't. Well, it's anti-joy for two reasons. For the reason you stated, and it can't because this polarity wants to go south, this polarity wants to go north, and now they're like literally bridging each other. The other reason it's anti-joy is because it's taking away all of my joy. So we're talking literally.
I was gonna say that, but he beat me. It's fine.
It was calling out to be said. I had to.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is as tight as it gets. Like, okay, I'm gonna up the magnetogrid just a little bit, but red is positive, blue is negative, and then it still captures the physical part of it. But this is a heck of a delta region. I mean, 1429 was a little bit better and closer than this. The actual Umbre were touching each other in that case, but this is getting pretty close, at least with the size.
I mean, it's potent. Or it has,
Lots of potential,
yeah.
which
Well, no,
means everyone
have-
knows what that means, right?
Huh? What?
Big
Nothing.
flare on the west
On the
limb.
west limb when it gets over
Oh
there?
yeah.
See, everyone agrees. We're good.
Yeah, when it doesn't matter anymore, yeah. I get it.
Exactly. It'll be like a Carrington-sized flare that'll just be right around the side. We'll somehow have Solar Orbiter there to pick up the stats, and it'll be like 200 nanotesla. Yeah.
And then we'll have articles that Carrington level CME is gonna blast Earth in 2 days.
Oh yeah, we'll get the media storm instead of the actual aurora storm.
Yeah,
We
didn't
get
we?
media
I
storms no
think
matter.
we had an actual possible Carrington.
2012. Wait, 2012? Are we talking about that one?
Well, that one and there, this cycle had one, but it was on the backside.
Oh,
X14 flare.
Hey,
It was a couple of years ago, I think. It was like 23, I think. I'll have to look it up. But it was like
Okay,
it was
fair.
backsided and it hit one of the, I forget, one of the satellites out there, and it was like,
I remember the 2012 one that hit stereo A, or 2014 maybe. It was either 2012 or 2014, but
but I mean, yeah, this cycle has potential. I mean, it already has exceeded expectations. So
on that note, out of this group, so Beth, you've been involved in this since cycle 24 too, right? Just to make sure.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna applause me, you, and Brian because we're the original OG people here since cycle 24. Woo! We got to grow up in the terrible cycle. Although, if I'm not mistaken, you've seen even more.
That's when I started photographing the aurora, though.
yeah,
When?
Well,
Cycle
I mean-
24?
Cycle 24 on the downswing of cycle 24. St.
I mean,
Patrick's Day 2015.
I don't want to
Yeah.
I don't want to downplay it too much because you still get photographically beautiful aurora with G1, G2 stuff up there. You just do.
Yeah.
So or if you go to Alaska, it's just whatever. It's all the time.
Yeah. Oh, it's Alaska. Oh no, BZ's -2. I'm expecting a giant substorm to fill the whole sky,
But
which happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you especially get it if you get out into the Superior National Forest, which is like, if you think about northern Minnesota, if you can imagine it on a map, almost from the Lake Superior shoreline over to International Falls is dark sky sanctuary now.
I
The
know.
biggest in the world.
I know.
Well,
I'm so
if you want to
jealous.
talk about BC, we might as well pull up the real-time solar wind right now.
Sure. Let's give it to
Yeah,
Tanya.
it's,
Oh wait, can you also share stuff on yours since you're on a phone?
I mean,
Nope.
I could bring it up too. Let's see.
I mean, I've got it right here, I guess.
Oh yeah, there we go. I just
Forgot.
it.
Well, we've got, speaking of negative to -5, -6.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
So
Oh,
we're gonna
look at
have
that.
some SMC and then substorms, I'm assuming, coming up tonight.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes.
This is again Canadian camera only or something CC
No,
everything
this
Canadian.
is going to be a little bit better than just Canadian border. That might push it a little bit further south for us, but
Not
You
for
hear
us.
that, UP?
yeah,
So Tanya,
definitely.
are you telling me I need to go down to the picnic area sometime tonight if it clears up?
Yeah.
Not for this.
Yeah, you may have
Not for
to.
this one.
I'm growing a lot of just my envy's turning into hatred at this point, Beth.
Um,
All these
Can you-
Minnesota people
Especially
just
if there are
can
3 houses for sale in Knife River right now.
can like 3 of us go in on it because that's
Yes,
probably all we can do to afford it.
we'll
Or you
talk.
can buy a piece of land and put a trailer on it the way a lot of people are doing.
That's true.
Or can I just like get a tent?
Yeah.
You can stay with me anytime.
I can get wet in the rain. It's fine. Like as long as I got land.
As long as you don't mind 2 rowdy dogs, you can come and crash here.
I have 2 rowdy dogs. We're good there.
Okay.
Shepherd Huskies.
Mm,
All right. Are we good?
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I've ranted everything I could rant possibly.
All right. So, in summary, we don't expect too much from this X Flare event. But we'll find out when it hits L1. And then we have some Aurora possibilities tonight for these folks that are up north. For us that are in the deep south, not so much, but you know, we're good.
I do have one more thing to say. I lied.
Okay.
I'm bringing up Sarah's
Oh yes.
Yes.
Sarah.
tweet because I think it
Yes.
needs said. A lot of people are flaunting the model. It's a direct hit and it's an X1. That means, and I know we've kind of made that point not as bluntly today, that means nothing. None of this means anything until L1, which at this point, God, we just need to get a tattoo of it. But this Sarah is a forecaster for I think a private industry, if I'm not mistaken, in Iowa. I don't remember her situation specifically,
Yeah, I
but
thought
she
she was
is
in the
not put a NOAA.
military or something.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
But she is constantly on Twitter trying to help out the general public, as all the space weather people are. But she's putting out a notice that we're all pretty sick of as well, and that's no amount of experience is going to make the models accurate, nor is using the models to justify any sort of forecasts going to be a good idea. I am encouraging people, especially if you have a lot of, past experience, knowledge, whatever, and you've got some ability to say what you think might happen. That's fine. But hype and getting people worked up and basically saying anything that has any sort of notion of a guarantee on it is bad and really just makes us all look bad.
Yeah, which is
Don't
why
do it.
which is why we tread lightly with this stuff. So
Yeah. We have fun. We like to say, we like to guess, but
yeah,
at the end, it's all a matter of what comes into L1. The end.
yeah, and
Like
it's
I always say, we won't know until about 2 hours ahead of time. Just deal.
yeah, it is true. So
Can I come in and see the Aurora August 18th?
Nope.
No idea. Stop asking.
No,
Yeah.
no, unless you do a jiggles, like sprinkle some cinnamon and then twitch your eye, then you might see some aurora.
or some. I'm not gonna say it. That's for off stream.
Maybe if you go to the Canadian border.
Yeah, Canadian border
Oh,
season
that's
all the time.
cheating.
All the time.
That's like going to Alaska.
Yeah, every day. All right. Anyway, thanks for joining. We've ranted for a long time here, so
Oh yeah, we're about 9. Let's stop.
but me and Christian will be back probably Saturday. We'll discuss a paper about substorms, the growth recovery or growth expansion recovery phases. So that should be a lot of fun.
Should
But in the meantime, because we're not going to go chase this thing, so we'll be live streaming. But for those people that are up north that want to go try to chase this, go for it. We look forward to the pictures, and hopefully it ends up being something good and making us all get FOMO and mad. So that's the goal.
I would almost prefer that.
Yeah. So, but I will end this for now, and we'll see you Saturday.